I'm going to record this for you. Okay, but I want you to stay until the end because I have a really special bonus just for you here live that I'm going to end recording. So it won't be on the replay. We're going to go for about an hour and it's going to be a really magical experience. Today's Friday the 13th if you're in this part of the world. And I know maybe some people are watching. I have folks in Australia, they're a day ahead, but here where I am, it's Friday the 13th. And if you're on my mailing list, you might have seen that this is kind of an auspicious day because there are 13 moons in a year. So 13 is a very sacred number, though sometimes it gets a bad reputation, but it is actually very sacred. And Friday was named after the goddess Freya. She's a Norse goddess of love and beauty, kind of like Venus, right? And so this is a very sacred day in the world of the divine feminine that was given a bad rep by people who wanted to take power away from women a couple thousand years ago. And so now we're here reclaiming it. Hello, it's actually very lucky. We're going to be tapping into the magic together today, because this workshop is all about sacred leadership and how to facilitate ceremonies. So I want to hear from you as we dive in. I want you to put in the chat a number 1. If you are brand new, you've never done any kind of ritual or spiritual work before in your professional development, or maybe even in your personal development. 2, you do a lot of ritual and spiritual work for your personal development, but not professionally. 3, you already do it professionally. You just want to add some more tools to your toolkit. So 1, you're brand new to this kind of thing. 2, you do it for yourself, not for others. 3, you already do this, but you want to add more to your work in the world. That's 2.5. I feel like, Sam, you can say 3. You're a medium. You got this. Yep. This is all checking out. So 1, just for yourself. 2, you don't do this. You haven't done this yet. 2, you just do it for yourself. 3, you do it for others. I love hearing kind of where you're at because this, obviously I've prepared some really beautiful things for you, but since we're live, I get to meet you where you're at. Perfect. A lot of people, so we're all over the map here. Perfect. Great. I'm going to speak to every person's experience in this. So what we're going to be doing today is we're actually going to do a guided ritual, which if you've ever done a guided ritual with me before, you know they're all channeled in the moment. So it's going to be based on the energy that I feel right here, right now. But those watch the replay, you'll be watching it at exactly the right time for you. And then I'm going to go through how I did it, so that you can have the framework for yourself to be able to integrate this either into your own practice or into work that you do with others. If you're already a practitioner, I would love to hear in the chat what you do. If you're a coach, if you're an energy healer, a psychic medium, I would love to hear from you how you already do your work in the world. And if you're wanting to just do this for yourself, perfect, you're in the right place. So if we haven't met before, because I know there are some people who are new here, my name is Melanie Monaco, and I come from a long line of spiritual leaders. So my great-grandfather was a Baptist minister. My great-uncle, Heyoka, was a shaman and medicine man, and he did a lot of work to reclaim the indigenous ancestry from our blood lineage. My mom was a yoga teacher. And I am a self-love coach and a priestess. I started in the wellness world as a yoga teacher like my mom, and I also studied a lot of archetypal psychology and spirituality, that specifically the psychology of transformation in college. And right after graduating college, I started teaching yoga and started patchworking together certifications to create a business that would allow me to live life in alignment with my values, to be able to travel, which I was just doing yesterday, actually. If you got my email yesterday, I sent it from a plane. I'm back home now. But to be able to travel, to be able to be, now I'm a mom, and I'm able to spend as much time as I want to with my little one. So all of these values, I know you have your own values. That's really why I started my business, so that I could live life on my terms. And it's evolved. So it started as yoga, group fitness, energy healing, became coaching, became self-love coaching, became training new self-love coaches when people asked me to mentor them. And more of the spiritual work has become infused over time. I was mentored and initiated by my great uncle Heyoka through Vision Quest, and most recently I've been a priestess initiate through the 13 Moon Mystery School. Priestess work is what I identify with the most because it's rooted in divine feminine, which is just most resonant for me. But you don't have to be a priestess to facilitate ritual and ceremony, because ritual and, yes, thank you, Madison 111. Ritual and ceremony are the original healing modalities. So no matter where you're from, where your ancestors are from, your people did ritual and ceremony as their first line of healing. So whether it was physical healing or spiritual healing, emotional healing, community healing, it was always ritual and ceremony. And we still have our rituals and ceremonies that we do today. The biggest one being weddings, right? People, that's a huge ritual and ceremony people do in all different ways. I actually was just in California facilitating a hand fasting ceremony, which is an ancient pagan form of marriage and union, which was so special. But there's all of the different ceremonies and rituals that you get. You have your wedding next October. Ariel will have to talk about different rituals you can do for that. But weddings are not the only way that we can do this, right? And actually, what's been shown is that the more you infuse meaning and magic and enchantment into your life, the happier you are. Depression decreases, connection increases, confidence increases, all of these incredible things that make life worth living. I find the easiest way to infuse that type of connection and wonder and enchantment and magic into your life is through ritual and ceremony, which is why it's such an important part of my spiritual practice and my everyday life. Ritual and ceremony doesn't have to just exist in one, in this 1 hour. We can do it all the time, every day, and I'm going to talk about how to do that. Beautiful. So I want to invite you to find a comfortable place for your body to be, to make any adjustments that need to be made to feel as comfortable as possible. And I'm just getting my whole situation set up here. Okay. And we're going to go into a ritual, a ceremony here today. I want to invite you to rub your palms together to create heat. Heat is energy, and you can imbue this energy with intention. And your intention today can be completely up to you, whatever you want it to be. So I want to invite you to allow your intention. It could be to get clarity, it could be to cultivate confidence, really whatever brought you here today, whatever you want to deepen with, you could choose that, or it could just be to feel some magic. So just imagine this intention moving down your arms into your hands as you activate your heat between your hands. Heat is energy. We're imbuing the energy with the intention, and perhaps you allow your eyes to close or you soften your gaze, so that you're not focusing on one thing in particular. And then when you're ready, you can place your hands over your heart and take a deep breath in, feeling the warmth radiate from your palms into your body. Taking a moment to breathe. And just imagining this intention moving into your body, activating through every cell of your being. Really allowing yourself to be fully present here. Allowing yourself to be as present as possible. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Again, in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Imagining as though you have a beautiful healing light above the crown of your head. Allow it, feel it dropping into your body, activating every cell in your mind. Activating every cell all the way through your head and down your neck. Activating every cell through your heart center, your upper back, bringing this healing light down through your torso. Continuing to bring this healing light down through your pelvic bowl, bring this healing light down through your legs, down through the bottom of your feet, where you suddenly feel the weight of your body connecting you to the earth, allowing gravity to be the hug from our mother planet, our mother earth. Taking 2 more deep breaths here. And whenever you're ready, you can allow your eyes to open. I'm going to be pulling a card for us. These are cards I actually made myself. I call them ritual cards. They all have little messages on the back. And I'm going to be tuning into your intention, your energy, and seeing the message that comes through for us today. Magic. Okay, so let's talk about what this means. I already started talking about magic, so this doesn't surprise me. That's kind of the intention I set. But I would love to know in the chat what magic means to you if you feel like sharing. But I'm going to share what's coming through for me about what this means for all of us today. Magic is the way that we can move through this lifetime without getting caught in the darkness and shadows. I want to say that, the darkness and shadow isn't inherently wrong or bad. It's part of it, and it's actually magical when we can move into the darkness and shadows and find meaning. There's greater transformation available to us there than in the easy things in the light. You know this. You've been transformed by difficult things, and sometimes for the better, right? Often for the better. But magic is what gives us the opportunity to make sense of it, and so that we don't lose hope. You know people in your life, and maybe you've been in this space before, where you're just despondent. You're just stuck in despair. And you're wounded and you cannot get out from that space. You feel like a victim everywhere you go. And you are wondering, why did this happen to me? And life isn't fair, right? And that's okay to feel those things. That's very human. And also, magic allows us to create that bridge of possibility to understanding, maybe this didn't happen to me, maybe it happened for me. Maybe there is a greater purpose here. Maybe there's a greater lesson here. How can I cultivate the wisdom here? And then when you do that, it allows you to grow in your soul's evolution and your soul's purpose so that you can do what you're here to do, right? I'm going to read some of what you've shared. Trudy says, magic shares that anything is possible and everything is magic. Beautiful. Melissa says, magic is learning self-love and self-care. I agree. Ariel says, understanding we are magic and everything we do is magical. Caitlin says, magic allows for us to find higher self-worth, connect to the world around us. Luann says, magic continuing even when logics must say no. Chris says, I struggle with self-love and forgiveness a lot, and I'm hoping with magic I can connect with God and higher, holier power. Yes, and some agreements going on. Let me know if your definition of magic needs to be named here. I would really love to hear what comes through for you. To me, magic is really creating something powerful from something painful. And that process is what allows us to get through the challenging stuff. Magic is also synchronicity, right? So when you're thinking about somebody and then they call the next day, or you go out as soon as you step outside, an eagle flies above you, right? That kind of thing. How many of you experience synchronicities regularly? I definitely do. And actually, I've seen this in my the people that I work with. The more ceremony and ritual you do, the more synchronicities you experience, because you're attuning your energy to magic. That's a lot of what this is. We're energetic beings, and so we're attuning our energy to a very specific frequency intentionally so that we can be in resonance with how we want to feel. Yes, magic to me is the alchemization of life experiences. Beautiful, Lauren. And he says, experiencing synchronicity daily. Yeah, I want you to, we're going to go back into this meditative portion for the final part of this part of our ceremony today. So I want to invite you to tune back into your body, going back to that place, maybe placing your hands on your body, finding your breath. And I want you to consider an area of your life that feels devoid of magic. Perhaps it's a challenging relationship. Perhaps it's your career feels just stagnant, devoid of magic, just mundane. Perhaps it's the clutter in your home, or how stressed you feel about getting to a certain place, or whatever it might be. You know the places that just feel like, oh, there is no magic. How could there be magic? Maybe it's even a traumatic situation. Maybe something really challenging happened to you, right? Or maybe it's something really horrible happening in the world, of which we know there is many things. So I want you to really tune in to something that feels devoid of magic. And I know this is uncomfortable or might be uncomfortable, but I promise it's for a purpose. And I want you to imagine as though you are equipped with divine healing power. There's nothing you have to do to attain this. There's nothing you can do to attain this. You just have this divine healing power. Holding this situation in your awareness that you chose, I want you to imagine that you can transform it with magic. And perhaps the transformation is just seeing it from a different perspective. Perhaps the transformation is you taking a certain action. But what would the most magical response be that you have in your power? What is your most magical response? I want you to see yourself or feel yourself living out this magical response. And I want you to imagine this magical power, this response, this change, just activating in your body like you did before, activating every cell of your body, expanding outward as though you are completely enveloped in it and beaming light. Creating this energetic alignment, this frequency of magic. Here, now, all things are possible. There is nothing standing in your way. You just need to take that step forward, trusting your magic. Really feel this repair, really feel the resolution, feel the transformation through magic. And if your inner wisdom had one thing to say about this experience, about cultivating magic, what would it be? You are deserving of healing. You are deserving of magic. There's nothing you have to do to earn magic. There's nothing you can do to earn magic. It's always available to you. Every second of every day. Your job is to choose to see it, and that's it. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it all out. And when the time is right, you can begin to find a little bit of movement in your body, and you can very gently, slowly begin to bring your awareness back to the space around you, eventually finding your way back to our shared space by allowing your eyes to open. Welcome back. I would love to hear in the chat anything you want to share, but I would love to hear what your inner wisdom said. Maybe you want to take a second, write it down in the chat, or write it down. I see some of you journaling. Write it down in the chat, write it down in a journal. What did you see being transformed? Just share whatever feels good to you. I would really love to hear. And then we're going to go through and I'm going to share with you how I channeled that and how to lead this kind of thing yourself, or do this for yourself on your own. So powerful. Okay. So I love this. Jenny says, release the how. Just let the magic happen. Brandy says, you are the magic. It is not outside of yourself. Teresa says, surrender was a word that came up for me. That's a big one. Elizabeth says, right before you talked about deserving magic, I heard I deserve this life. That is so synchronistic. That's magic right there. Trudy says, the magic lies within. Rachel says, patience came to me. Ariel says, you can manifest it. Lauren says, become deeper rooted in who I am, grounding. See how different each one of these responses are? I led you all through the exact same thing, and yet every single person received something different. But I want you to put a number 1 in the chat if what somebody else said is true for you too. Or you can just say yes. Because often what happens in these is that somebody says something and that becomes medicine for us too. Somebody else's inner wisdom becomes medicine for us too. Yes. One. How many 1111s did we just create? Oh, Sarah. Sarah says, I struggle with miscarriage. I deserve to have a child on my own. You do. You do. There's nothing you have to do to earn that. And I'm just holding you in my heart. Yes. T says, you are powerful. You have the wisdom. Yes. I love this. So good, y'all. This is beautiful. Thank you for sharing. You can continue to share anything that comes through for you. How do you feel? Just check in. I feel really expanded, and you're welcome to share in the chat. I feel really expanded. I feel really activated. I actually was feeling a little, I told you yesterday I was on a flight across the country. I was feeling a little, oof. I was like, why did I schedule a ceremony today? But I'm so glad I did, because I actually feel better, like physically. Which, I just said ceremony is the original healing modality, right? And I feel that physically as well. And these types of ceremonies I've been able to offer, Sarah, I'm thinking of you, I've been able to offer ceremonies for women going through miscarriage. I've been able to offer mother's blessings for women about to give birth. I just did a wedding, healing circles for a woman in our community diagnosed with breast cancer. Like so many different opportunities there are in both times of challenge and times of joy to offer this. It is I want you to imagine, and maybe I know some of you might already do this, I want you to imagine circumstances in your life where a friend is going through something really hard, or a loved one's going through something really hard. And we often feel powerless. We often feel like, I wish I could help take this pain away. I wish there was something I could do. And I can't tell you how powerful it has been for me to be able to, in those moments, offer ceremony, to say, hey, can I pull a card for you? Can I do a blessing for you? Can I bring flowers and adorn you? Can I do some sacred healing for you? And how potent it is to be able to offer that for your community. Not even professionally, just personally, or for yourself. When if you've been in my world for some time, some of you are new, but some of you know me for a while. I've gone through some really challenging stuff just in the last few years. I mean, I could talk about childhood. I mean, some of you, know typical childhoods too, but I'm just going to talk about the past few years after I started doing ceremony. I went through big initiations and, had a really, really challenging experience with PTSD after having a really difficult home birth experience with my son. And then 8 months later, I lost my mom. 4 months later, I lost my grandmother. My great uncle Heyoka died right when I found out I was pregnant. I mean, it was like just, you've had seasons in your life like this, perhaps, where it's like, what the F is going on? Like, why is everything so hard? Why is everything falling apart? Why am I losing people I love? Now I'm years away from this, so I can see it was part of my sacred initiation. But at the time, it just felt so hard. But what was the first thing I did to move through this and heal these things? It was ceremony. It was ceremony. I sat in ceremony. I heard from my great uncle, I heard that he was passing. I did a ceremony for him. My mom, I was losing my mom. I did a ceremony. My grandmother, I did ceremony, and it was really potent healing for me to be able to do that. Just like we just in this moment did that transformation of this hard circumstance you were imagining, and then how can I move through this with magic? And then you find meaning, right? You all just downloaded such beautiful messages about magic and shared them, right? Jenny says, I've hosted 2 divorce ceremonies lately. Yes. Beautiful. I just want you to imagine all the different ways that this can impact your life personally, and the ways that you can contribute to community. And then also professionally, this is a really important thing to add if you already do some kind of spiritual work, because it is the original healing modality for a reason, because of how powerful it is and how quickly it can facilitate transformation, right? Okay, so here's how I facilitate ceremony. There's no perfect way to do it, but I will say I want to talk through some of the maybe challenging things that I see, and then some of the really powerful ways that we can move through it. So if you're thinking about facilitating ceremony for yourself or others, often the first thing that gets in people's way is confidence, right? I want to know, put a 1 in the chat if you feel this. If you're like, I don't even know how to begin. I don't feel confident doing this. Right? That's the first thing that gets in people's ways. Well, I don't even know, like, how to even show up and do this for people. Like, how can I use my voice to do this? Like, aren't people going to think I'm crazy? Are people going to be like, who does she think she is? Is she like totally insane? Right? Maybe you feel that way. Yeah, that's a big thing getting in the way. Ariel says 0.5. Yeah, absolutely. So that's the big thing. That's a big thing getting in the way. Other people feel like I don't want to offend people, right? So put a 2 in the chat if you don't want to offend people. I don't want to offend people. I don't want to use a spiritual tool that's like appropriating a culture that is I don't belong to, or I don't want to like offend people who have other spiritual belief systems. Like I don't want to say the wrong thing. Like I don't want to make assumptions. Oh my gosh, yeah, totally. Yeah, put a 2 in the chat if that's you. And then put a 3 in the chat if you feel like, okay, maybe I have the confidence, I do have some skill set around not offending people, but I just don't know how to get people to do ceremony with me. Like, I don't know how to do this professionally, you know, or maybe it's 1, 2, and 3, right? I would love to do this professionally. I would love to be a healer, love to be a spiritual leader. I just don't know how to even show up and do this professionally, or where to get clients, or how to inspire people to do this work with me. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Those are the biggest things getting in the way, but I want you to know all of these things are easy problems to solve. Really, like actually they are. And it is definitely in my area of expertise to solve them. So I want you to know this is all fixable and you don't have to go through that alone. I'm going to break down my ritual framework and then tell you a little bit of how to navigate those things. And maybe there's something else getting in the way. If there's anything else getting in the way of you showing up and doing ceremony for yourself or others, I'd love to hear it in the chat, because then I can support you. So the way that I do this, I come from a blood lineage of, I mentioned earlier, in indigenous ancestry. My great-great-great-grandmother Lolaski was Cherokee Indian, and my other side of my family, all pagan, goes back to like pre-Christian invasion from the Roman Empire to Northern Europe. So I have a really powerful bloodline of the Ogilvy clan of Scotland and Western France, Ireland, Wales, that kind of whole area. So where I'm coming from is like, I could certainly draw upon those lineages, and it's really beautiful for me to do my own ancestral work. But as a spiritual leader, I like to be as approachable and accessible as possible. So what I do is use universal spiritual practices. I'm really conscious about not wanting to appropriate or harm or offend, right? Like if we're harming somebody or we're offending somebody, it's going to be hard to help them heal. So I want to use universal spiritual practices. And in my many years of like not only my lineage of having such a diversity in my family line, but in my years of trainings, working with mentors, I've learned that there are certain practices that are all around the world. So these practices we did today, breath work, like contemplation, meditation, prayer, it's all the same thing, just different versions of it, right? We see this all around the world. Divination in different forms, card readings, like very universal. Some people use different things, like, you know, you see stones and like runes, right? Which is a northern northern spiritual practice, Northern Europe spiritual practice, bones, right? Like there's different ways that you can do it, scrying, looking in water or crystals. There's so many different ways to do that. Cards is a very accessible way. So that's a universal spiritual practice. Another spiritual practice, you can't really see this, but I have my candles burning and fire. Fire either through candles or through smoke cleansing. There are certain herbs that are sacred to certain peoples. You know, white sage and Palo Santo, those are very specific sacred things. So I always encourage people when you're doing smoke cleansing, use either the herbs that are part of your bloodline or that are just outside. Right? Maybe you grow them in your garden, or maybe you can just get culinary sage from the grocery store and hang it up and dry it and make your own smoke cleansing bundle. So many different ways to do that, and all herbs have different meanings and different medicine. Other universal spiritual tools that I love to incorporate are things like movement and music and drumming. Like that's very universal as well. Yes, I love rosemary. I was just thinking of rosemary. You read my mind. So those are all different things that I have, and I have a whole arsenal of spiritual tools that I can draw upon, you know, and we did many things today. And then from there, that's the divination portion. I use my intuition to bring the message into resonance with whoever is receiving the ceremony. So it would be, what we did is we started with a meditation, a grounding to really presence all of our collective energy. Then I did divination, right? So I did a preparation, a divination. The third step is inspiration. And that's when I was talking about the meaning of magic. And when you were sharing the meaning of magic for you, right? And we were going deeper into the message. What if I just said, okay, magic, and that's it, that's the ritual? It would not be nearly as powerful, right? So I did the inspiration. I used my intuition, which is a skill that can be learned. It's not, some people are born with like super heightened powers for sure, but it's something everybody has access to. It's a skill, just like you learn how to cook, or you learn how to sew, or you learn how to paint, or you learn how to, I don't know, do the dishes. Like everything, all these things are skills, right? So you can learn intuition. It's a skill. So that's the inspiration portion. So we have preparation, divination, inspiration, and then we went into integration, which is where I brought you through that meditation. I channeled in the moment in which I was talking about, okay, imagine this circumstance. What is the magical transformation? And then I brought you into accessing your intuition, saying, or my inner wisdom saying, okay, what do I need to know now, right? I had no script for that. You don't need a script. Like, certainly you can write scripts for your meditations, but actually when you're tapped into your intuition as a spiritual leader, the most potent thing is just going to come through you, right? And we all had a really beautiful experience here together, just allowing that to come through. So that's the integration. And so many rituals don't include that. And that's what I think, especially for those of you who are psychic readers, or even just coaches, right? Like, it's so powerful to have the practice that brings it into the subconscious mind, because it's one thing to cognitively understand. It's another thing to actually embody, feel, and act from that understanding. You know this, right? It's like you get, oh, I should eat healthier, but like then you choose not to because it's easier not to, because you're stuck in the habits, because of your subconscious programming, because of your energy alignment, right? That kind of thing. So that's why we do the integration, to create new neural pathways, to let our body know it's safe so we can go out of fight or flight, so that we can act from a place of conscious awareness. And that's what the integration practice does. And there are so many different ways to do integration. And we could talk about different ways, but things like breath work and soul journey / shamanic journey / vision quests, like in your mind, where you're meeting with spirit guides and animals and that kind of thing, right? Or even chanting or affirmations or singing, like using your voice, doing energy work, which we actually did. Energy work, but you could do it even more intentionally with specific energy centers in your body, such as chakras, that kind of thing. So there's different ways to do the integration, and I like to kind of hit at least 2 or 3 to create as much power as possible. So again, you have your preparation, which is that grounding, that connection. Your divination, which I did a card pull. Inspiration, I was talking about it to help it land and resonate. Integration, and then we did our closing. Well, I guess we kind of just transitioned into this, but in a ritual ceremony, I would do a closing to really, and I'll do that at the end of this call, where you really end the space and you end the container. Those are the 5 steps, and it's a really easy to follow framework, and you can integrate as much as you want of your own unique essence into this. It's different every single time. Some of you might be aware of my guided rituals membership, where I have over 100 of these mini rituals in an app, which is really cool. But I want you to know that you can do this for clients, for yourself, for community members, for people you love. And every time it could be different. Every time it'll be based on your intuition. And if you don't think you can do it, I promise you you can, because it's a skill and it's a framework that can be repeated. All right. So I want to just look at what you've been sharing in the chat. And while I do, if you have any questions or anything you want to share about that, put it into the chat. Yes, Charlotte says, this is all fixable. I don't have to do it alone. I needed to hear this today. Kara says, shame that I shouldn't be helping others when I'm still so far from where I think I should be. Okay, Kara. So you only need to be 1 step ahead of somebody in order to help them see the next step and where they need to go. You only need to be one step ahead of somebody in order for them to see the next step of where they need to go, right? And healing is not linear. It's spiralic. You go up and down in your awareness, and you might revisit the same things again and again and again, but your perspective will always be different because you're actually up here and you're down here instead of where you started, which was right here. Let me know if that makes sense. My son did a mermaid temporary tattoo on me. That's what you can see. Kara, let me know if that resonates with you. Chris says, this is my first workshop in quite a while. I've been all bottled up and just a lot going on. I thought I'd never be able to work on magic for myself, but I love this, and this is very magical. I could do this all the time. Yes, exactly. I love this. Brandy says, I struggle with second guessing my intuition. Absolutely. Samantha. Samantha's always ready to help. I love Samantha for this. Samantha says, an easy way to help combat this is to trust what immediately comes to mind. If it comes after 5 to 10 questions, that's usually the questioning part of our mindset, or the overthinking part. What comes immediately, that is intuition. Yes, absolutely. Oh, Jaquea. So Jaquea is a certified ritual facilitator. She says, missed the group calls, just wanted to see some like-minded people. Oh, thanks for coming. Elizabeth says, I feel validated in what I've been doing. Yes, you are worthy. Okay. So I want to share with you a couple of pathways for how you can move forward with this work. Really special bonus, and then we're going to have time for Q&A. So stay till the end. If you have questions, you'll be able to go off mic and ask me anything you want. I'm an open book, you know this. Okay, so first pathway is guided rituals. So I mentioned this. It's an app and a membership. The Android is about to be released, which is really exciting. The iOS is already ready, so you can literally go to your app store. I'll show you what it looks like. So fun to see the guided rituals. Where did it go? Here's guided rituals. Oh, it's not going to focus. There you go. That app right there, you open it. I'm really proud of this if you can't. And there's 3 free rituals there waiting for you. So that's the first thing I want to let you know about. And if you're a member of Guided Rituals, share in the chat. And the second pathway is the initiation. So some of you already know about this. It is the ritual facilitator training. So I already told you how to do the ritual facilitator work. If you want to lead your own guided rituals, I gave you that 5-step framework. Though I know some of you are like, but I don't trust my intuition, or how do I learn these these universal spiritual practices? All of that, we go deep into it. So it's a 13-week, really close-knit, high-touch group program, which means that you have a lot of access to me. Yes. Yep, absolutely. I'm going to put all of the links into the chat, and I'm also going to send you an email and give you a bonus. So you have the Guided Rituals app, but the Ritual Facilitator training starts on September 22nd with the autumn equinox. It goes through the winter solstice. We have calls every other week on Sundays, and you also receive trainings into a learning portal. So I'm going to go through all of the different ways you can do breath work, all of the different ways you can lead meditation, all of the different ways that you can do smoke cleansing and different divinatory practices, scrying, right? All of the universal spiritual tools I mentioned. We're going to do some deep ancestral work. So, you know, what I've talked about with my own ancestry and how that can inform spiritual practices. I'm going to guide you through connecting with your ancestry, either through using the internet, your family, or your blood memory, because your DNA holds a lot of information and we can access that through deep meditative work. So we're going to do a whole ancestry blood memory connection in the program, which is going to blow your mind. I've had some really crazy experiences doing that, connecting with ancestors. And then we're going to really teach you how to do this work for others so that you're going to have time to practice, connect with people, lead your own rituals in a really safe space, receive feedback from me. And you all know I love marketing and I love business. So I'm going to teach you how to grow a business or to grow your current business, infusing this into your work, or to just bring this out into your community. We're going to touch on all of the things that you need to know to do this ethically, safely, responsibly, and successfully. Yay! And as you're leaving, I'd love to hear if you want to share your biggest takeaway. And I got your emails too for the payment plan, so don't worry there. Oh, love y'all so much. So good to see you. Aw, thanks, Caitlin. Yeah, and if there are any questions you just didn't want to ask in front of everyone, you are more than welcome to stay on. Oh, Chris says, thank you. I love you. I love this. This was magical. I could do this every day. I hope you do with guided rituals. And there's the 3 free rituals, and the rituals in the guided rituals app that are free. All of them you can do again and again and again, and they're going to have different experiences. And you can also go back through my Instagram feed and find rituals on there, and my podcast. Ariel asks, what would the hardest part of the program be? I think just showing up. You all know this from doing maybe other programs. Life can get in the way. But if you can prioritize the time, the transformation is going to be there. Michelle says, was such a beautiful experience, connected with my ancestors and guides.